Welcome back to the Python Fundamentals tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about dictionaries, which is another data type in Python that allows us to store information in key value pairs. So to instantiate a dictionary, right, I can call my variable name, set it equal to, and then I'm going to put curly braces. And the first thing I have to put has to be in quotations. And this is called the key, right? So I'm going to make the key name, right? So this is going to be important for when we're trying to access the value that is assigned to name. So let's say the person's name is Potato Head, right? Then I put a comma, and you could continue on the same line, but normally you see convention as a new line because that just makes it a lot easier to read. So I would suggest following that convention. So let's say I want to add another key called profession, which is what his job is. Say programmer, okay? And these values don't have to be strings. They can be something else, like wife, checking if he has a wife or not, and we'll say false because he's not married. We could also have a number, year of birth, and 1999. We could also have something like hobbies, which is a list. So I can just put in a list here, um, watching TV and eating, right? So this is a very exciting person, but this is all the data we have on Mr. Potato Head. And we can access these values similar to how we'd access a value in a list. So we call the variable name, we put square brackets. Then we put in the key in quotations. So print the name. We can also do the same with profession, right? Print profession. Now when I run this, I have potato head and progression, or programmer, which are his profession. Now, the cool thing about dictionaries is they don't allow duplicates, and they will take the most recent value, right? So let's do new dict equals, let's call the key number, right? And I'll make the number 32. Now, let's say I try doing the same key, right? The same exact thing, number. Now, let me assign it to 39. What do you think is going to happen when I print new dict and number? Well, the answer is you're going to get 39 because it takes the most recent value. So you can't have multiple values stored in one key. Now, you can also change and update a dictionary. So to change a value, it's really similar to a list, and you'll see that most of the properties of dictionary are. So profession, right? We do the same thing as if we were accessing the value. But then we just write in equals, and we want to change the profession to unemployed, let's say. So now he lost his job. And we can also use a method for this. So mydict.update, right? And in the update, we put curly braces. We put the key first in quotations, so wife, and then we put a semicolon, and then we put in what we are replacing the value with. So let's say he got married, so now he has a wife. And you can see this if I do print my dict profession, and I can also print the other value, which is the wife. And once this happens, you can see he's unemployed and he has a wife, which is the values that we changed up here. Remember that these two lines basically are the same way, or are two different ways of doing the same thing. But I can also add items to a dictionary, so things that don't exist there yet. So the easiest way, in my opinion, is calling the variable name and putting in a key right here. So this key is, if we're adding an item, it shouldn't exist there. So let's say high school GPA, right? And we can set it equal to, I don't know, 0.32. um, and that's his GPA. And you can see print my dict, and I can access that value, right? And we get what we asked for. You can also remove items from a dictionary, and we use the same method that we use for a list, right? We do my dict.pop. And in the pop, we actually put the key, right? So I'm going to put the key high school GPA, and this will get rid of it, and I can't access it anymore. And we can also do mydict.pop item. Okay, so this is a bit special because this will remove the most recently added value to a dictionary. However, it depends on your version of Python. Okay, so Python 3.7 and newer will have ordered dictionaries, right? So this means it will keep track of the order in which you instantiated the keys and values, right? But in any older version, dictionaries are not ordered. Therefore, the pop item will remove a random value in the dictionary, right? So this is really important. So you should check what version of Python you have, and if you don't have the newest version, I'm sure you can update it. And yeah, so make sure if you're using the pop item that whatever device you're using it on is updated to the newest version of Python. And you can also obviously delete a value in a dictionary by doing delete mydict and then calling the um, key. So I'll say profession, right? And say I don't want to know what he does anymore. And I can also loop through a dictionary similar to what I would do with a list. So for item in my dict, right? But here I'm gonna do dot values, right? So by default, it would if even if I did this, right? If I got rid of the dot values, it would still do the same thing. But having the dot values clears it up for anyone reading your code, and it makes it a lot easier for you to go back and understand what's going on. Because you'll see, right? So I print this, right? I can run, and it'll print out past the right here, past the GPA, which is the last thing we printed. This is everything that's stored in Mr. Potato Head. But what we need to do also, or another thing we can do, is for item in my dict dot keys, right? And this is gonna return the keys of them, right? So I can do this, and we can see that it gives us what we have here: name, wife, year of birth, right? Now we also have another thing we can do. So for x comma y in my dict dot items, right? And this is going to return the key value pair. So I can print x comma y. We get the key value pair. So we have year of name potato head, wife true, year of birth 1999, right? And the reason hobbies isn't showing up in any of these is because remember we used the pop item, right? So the pop removed the high school GPA already, right? Which used to be the new most recently added value. But now when I do pop item, it'll look back all the way and see that hobbies was in fact what was added last. So it got rid of that. So dictionaries have a lot in common with lists, yet they're also slightly different, which gives them their own use cases. So that's going to be it for today's video. And in the next one, we're going to delve a bit deeper into dictionaries and what we can do with them.